Alright, and we're live. There we go. Alright, so in today's stream, we are going to finish this Battleship app, whether it kills me or not. I don't know, because I've been doing this for too long. So I have a couple things on the agenda today. Yo, Joseph, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. I have a couple things on the agenda. So the first thing is, well, we can remove this code, which I'll actually start with. And then there's going to be an error somewhere. Oh, yes. Then we don't need this ship draggable stuff either. Yeah, so we're going to remove that code. We're going to do some styling updates. Yo, Sarper, how's it going? Styling updates. And we're going to add computer AI, not artificial intelligence like LLM AI. Like, we're going to make the computer moves smarter. Yeah, I'm doing pretty all right. So that's our goal for today. And then, yeah, styling, computer AI, and then we also have to check for the win condition, which is pretty simple. So yeah, just a couple things on the agenda, and hopefully I can do it all today. I think I can if I lock in. Okay, so let me just source/modules, and then remove ship, because I don't need this draggable ship class anymore, because that's not how we're implementing stuff. Okay, so then, okay, so it's gonna break stuff. Why? Oh no, there we go. We're good. And we'll do. Oops. Okay. There we go. All right, so we did that, and then next, we can add a win condition. Actually, we should probably do that after the computer. I do the computer attacks, because I wanna test that first. So basically, what I'm thinking is I'm gonna mind map this before we do it, because I think it'll make more sense to plan out ahead of time. So let's go over here to a new area. So computer AI. Yo, hello Yug. How's it going? So we can say, first of all, the first thing that the computer does is it makes a random move, right? Or I should do a conditional. If no ship found, then, or actually let me rename this. Ship found, then if it's false, then we make random move. Otherwise, what we do is we go to another conditional. You're starting web dev, learning full stack currently in first year. You're learning from a YouTube course called Sigma Web Dev. Oh, that's cool, yo. Never heard of that creator. So ship found. We'll say, because basically what I'm thinking of doing is, let me go back to my Battleship gain here. So what I'm thinking of doing is if a computer finds a ship, right, then it'll store that location where the ship is, and then it'll test randomly adjacent squares like a human would, right? And then if it finds if it checks all 4 adjacent squares, it knows that it knows that it's a size 1 ship, right? But if it's bigger than size 1 on one of the adjacent squares, like let's say the computer goes here and then it checks the square above, it knows that this is a vertical ship of at least size 2, right? So then what it can start doing is it can start checking cells above and below the ones it knows to try and hit everything. And then once it hits everything, then it moves on and chooses another random spot. So that's like kind of what I want to do for just sort of how like a human would do it, right? Code with Harry is an Indian YouTuber. Is free codecamp nice? I'm not using free codecamp. I'm using the Odin Project, Yug. But it's good. I would say it's good. Okay, so let's go back to our state diagram here. Keeps opening on the wrong. I know I can like change that setting somewhere, but keeps opening on the wrong monitor. Okay, so we'll say. Actually, we'll say hit. Ship known about is the ship known. You'll see what I mean by known in a second, because it'll be kind of like guessing based on that. So we'll add a false. True. And then if the ship is not known, then we add ship to let me like set a, there's gonna be a property. So we'll say like current hit or current ship hit is either a ship or undefined, right? That's like a property. So we'll say current ship hit is the ship just hit, right? And then after that, we want to make a random move, make a random adjacent move. Up, down, left, right. And of course we need to remember which adjacent moves have been taken, right? So what we'll say is the ship direction or orientation known. So it's kind of like complicated, but it's gonna be good. And then we'll put this guy, this needs to go back up to hit, right? Actually, say entering. I think I need to add another box here. Make random move. of tiles available. Just connect it like this. There we go. Trust me, this planning is going to help us when we actually implement the code. Although I think I should actually... The order of this is a little confusing. We should probably put this is the ship known first. So let me restructure this. Let me just say computer AI turn, and then we put. I just need to reorganize this, guys, a little bit. So let's just get this out here. Oops. Is the ship known? It's false. True. Let's see. So make completely random move. And if it's true, then new to my channel, you can read the top of the description. I'm planning out the computer AI for a Battleship clone, a single player Battleship clone in the browser. But I'm just working on I'm working on a flow diagram for the computer AI. It's a little messy, but that's currently what I'm doing. Okay, so let's go here. So is the ship orientation known? And then we need a hit here, I think. Hit. Bear with me. Okay. So if we hit the ship, then we need to set this to the current ship hit to the ship just hit, right? So if it's true, actually maybe I'll put the true over here. It might make more sense. And then if it's false, we just end the turn. Oops. Right. You're learning HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, but you're not able to understand it, so what should you do? Well, like, it depends on what parts you don't understand, Ben. Like, it depends. Like, do you not understand any of it, or is it just, like, the more advanced concepts? Because what I would do is I would start really, really, really basic. Like, if you start at the beginning of the Odin Project, for example, which is the learning curriculum that I'm using, it like starts really basic, like what a computer is and stuff like that. That might be too basic, but like, you know, basic HTML tags like headings, paragraph tags, etc. So just start like as basic as you feel comfortable with, and then just go from there and follow the lessons. That would be my advice. If there's more advanced concepts that you can't understand. And yeah, just follow the Odin projects and assignments. They're really good for teaching you. I would say. Okay, so then that's good. So I'll say false for this. Actually, no. I need to not do that. This needs to go over like over here. Needs more space. So if the ship orientation is not known, then we make a random adjacent move. Right? It's kind of like a decision tree for the computer AI here. And then so if we make a second, because if the ship is known, then that means we've hit something, right? There's a ship we just hit, right? You understand HTML a little bit, but you don't know JavaScript or CSS at all. I don't practice them at all. Well, as I say, Ben, like go to the Odin Project and just follow along with the lessons. It'll get you initiated to all that stuff. Like if I go, I'll demo it in a bit, but I'll show you what I mean. But basically, yeah, if you just go to the Odin Project, here's a link for it, by the way. You go check it out, but you can start with the foundations course. Just start right from the beginning and use that as a jumping off point. Okay. So if the ship orientation is known, then make move according to orientation. Top/bottom or left/right. And then we do the hits. Actually, we need two separate hits here. Actually, I need to reorganize this again a little bit. I need to say, are there available tiles according to orientation? So in this case, like, for example, if we have like let's say we've hit this ship square, and then we've hit one here, and we know the ship is horizontal, but we've hit the square over here and we've hit the square over here, then we know that this ship has to end, right? So there's no available adjacent squares to hit. So we know that this ship has been totally sunk, right? I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm doing well, Gil. But still working on the Battleship project, but we're about to finish it. I'm just doing a state diagram or like a state machine for the computer, so it can make smart moves instead of just random moves. And I appreciate that, Ben, and no worries. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. So there are available tiles to select according to orientation. If there are, then select adjacent tile according to orientation. So this is true. And then if it's false, ship likely sunk, reset, set known ship to undefined, and end turn. And yeah, ship likely sunk, set known ship to undefined. And then we choose a random spot. Choose a random location to hit, right? From here. Nice. How difficult was it? No, I went a little over, Gil. Not gonna lie, but I do have ship movement working here. I'll just show that right now. I'll demo it. But basically what you can do is instead of dragging and dropping ships, you can randomize the board configuration by clicking this button. And then I can click a ship that I want to move. Like, so let's say I want to move this ship. I can click it, and then it'll move to my mouse pointer only to the spots where it's valid, right? So it actually won't move, like if my mouse pointer goes over like invalid spaces, the ship will stay only where it's valid, right? Or if I move it outside of the board, right? And I can also hit the space bar to rotate it. And it'll only rotate if the rotation is valid. So if I try to rotate this, it won't work because it would be within one tile of this ship, right? And then you can place it by clicking again. And I could do the same with like any of the ships, right? So you can kind of, that was my kind of hack to get around the drag and dropping because it was such a headache. But that's what we did yesterday. So yeah. Yeah, it looks, yeah, it's pretty good. And the game is completely functional except for the win condition isn't checked. Like all ships sunk isn't checked, but I'm going to add the computer AI first. That's the what's it called? The state diagram that I'm doing is for the computer AI so I can implement it. So that it's not just, because right now the computer just makes random moves, which is not ideal. So I've got this kind of convoluted tree that it's going to go through, like a decision tree almost. And then, so what we'll do is we'll select adjacent tile according to orientation. I might make this a little bit. I guess it'll overlap with this anyway. The diagram's gonna look kind of ugly, but it is what it is. Imagine if you would make the AI to, instead of making random move, just cheat and get the user's ship coordinates. Oh, yeah, I mean, I could do that, Gil. I could do that. But that would be like X-ray vision. It would be impossible. That would be so cheese. I mean, I could do that. I could have the, like, insane difficulty mode be just that. Okay, so let's see. Select tile according to orientation. And then we'll do hit. And then true or false. Obviously, if it's false, we end the turn. End turn. right? And then if it's true, we probably move back to here, right? Actually, it would just be this. I think. Because again, recall that if you make a move and you hit, then you get another move until you miss, right? That's how Battleship works. Is if you hit a tile, you get to make moves again and again until you miss. So actually, Gil, with that, if the computer knew where all the ships were, it would literally sweep in one turn. It would sweep out your entire board in one turn. Which would be even funnier, I guess. Because it wouldn't have to relinquish its turn, because it would just know where your ships are. So it could just, every single turn it has, like every single retry it has, it could just hit all of the ship coordinates. But anyway. Okay, so make random adjacent move. And then this would go to up here, I think. After, whoa. Actually, no, it wouldn't. It would go to here. Nope, because the ship orientation wouldn't be known, so it would go to there. Because if we just found the ship, then we make a random adjacent move up, down, left, or right. So, and then if we hit it, yeah, you as a person. Exactly. So either assuming you go first, you either sweep the computer's board or the computer sweeps you. There's no alternative. But that would be funny. But yeah, no, there's just one more little state decision here, and then I think that's the state diagram finished. And then we have a couple properties as well to add. The other thing I want to say here is, like, I want to have like a caveat, because or number of tiles hit within the ship is 4 max ship length. Right? Oh, it's less than. Because we can't, obviously we know that there's no ship length greater than 4. So if a computer is made, so basically what it's doing is it's going to have an image in its head of what it knows about the ship it's currently hit, right? That's kind of what I'm going to construct, so that the computer has like a mental image of the ship that it's hitting. So if the ship that it's hitting has a length of 4, then it knows it can just move on and make another random move, because, you know, it knows for sure that it sunk the ship because it's length 4, essentially. Although I don't need to make it that smart necessarily, because, of course, then only length 3 ships would be available if the length 4 ship's already been sunk. So, like, maybe, like, if I wanted to be extra smart about this, the computer would know which ships the human still has alive and which ones it doesn't. Right? Like, for example, if the computer sunk all of the length 4 ships, and which is only 1, and the length 3 ships, which there's 2 of those, then it would know the max length of a ship, that if any other ship it would hit would be 2. Right? So we could probably factor that into here somewhere. Right? I don't know if I could include that in the state diagram. The other thing I would need to do here is I would need to say, or only length 1 ships left. Or actually, no, I need to invert this. Or there are ships left that have length greater than 1. How do I feel about non-devs calling themselves devs because they can chat to Claude Code? I mean, if they want to call themselves devs, that I don't have anything wrong with that. They can call themselves devs, whether it, you know, proves itself to be true. Like they'll find out the hard way if they want to actually prove themselves. MKM. That's my belief. People can call themselves whatever they want, whether or not it you know, bodes well for them. Like if, for example, if they're interviewing for a job and they can't answer a certain question because they don't know how to code, then that's their problem. But I don't care. I don't care about them calling themselves devs. Honestly, I only care about my learning path and what I choose, how I choose to learn. I don't care about how other people choose to learn. If they want to learn, like if they want to use AI in Claude Code and call themselves like, yeah, they can do that. I don't care. Now, if I was running a company, in theory, and I was hiring people, I would look for people that actually knew how to code, and not just like vibe code, right? Like, I mean, again, there are real devs who know how to code that also use AI in their workflow. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that don't know how to code and they just are like using Claude Code with a hope and a prayer, essentially. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my take on this. Okay, so then make random adjacent move, up, down, left, or right, and then if we hit it, obviously false, we end the turn. You just drag that over here. Otherwise, I think, random available, I should say. And if it's true, then we know the ship orientation, right? Which we should actually probably write somewhere. Ship orientation known. Save it. So save it in property. Something like this, because again, if we select, and then we go over here. I think. Although actually, we can do this instead. This diagram's kind of a mess, I know, but trust me, it's okay. And then this is true. Right. Okay. I think this is basically done. There's a couple edge cases like that I haven't really considered. But to make this work, we're going to need to store a couple things in the computer AI, right? So I'm going to make like a list of properties or something over here. Diagram is definitely a mess. Yeah, I know. Again, it's just to draft out ideas, Joseph. Like it's mostly just for brainstorming. I'm not I'm not trying to make this presentable or anything. So I don't know. Basically, it all centers around the computer's conception of if it what it does and doesn't know about the ship that it's hitting, right? Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm basing this off of. So we need, can we align this to the top maybe? No, I guess it doesn't really matter. So we can say we need current ship hit, which is either going to be a ship or undefined. You're a beginner, Mohammed? Nice. You've come to the right place. I mean, maybe. I don't know. You can check some of my earlier streams for some more beginner stuff. So we need the current ship hit. We need available, like an available tiles or game cells, right? Which would be an array of, what would it be? I have a type here, game board table. Or would it even be a game board table? No, it would just be a table of a Boolean, right? So it's either true or false. And they're all available to start. Yo, Stuns, how's it going? Are there similarities between a hacker and a dev when it comes to knowledge needed? Yeah, there's similarities, MCAM, but there's a lot of differences. Like, I think a hacker, from what I understand, and Joseph might be able to add to this, a hacker's more like IT-based, IT knowledge, networking, like networking, systems administration, security, like cybersecurity policies, like more knowledge, domain knowledge around that stuff. Whereas like a developer actually like creates software, right? So they need to know how to code. They need to know how to like bundle projects, deploy them, ship them, stuff like that. New project? No, this is a disaster diagram that I'm using to draft out the computer AI for our Battleship Stuns. Sounds good, Gil. I hope the errands go well. Okay, so we have available game cells, current ship hit. Ship hit, like, actually, or maybe I should name this something else, like, hit, current ship hit. Sure. That's fine, I guess. Been working on the styling of the library project? Nice. Yeah, exactly. Because I need to know about the... So I'll say maybe hit ship, and then I'll say hit ship length as a ship length or undefined. And then hit ship orientation is either ship orientation or undefined. So those I think are the properties I need, right? Although I could make this just a list of coordinates. Because we don't actually need to store the ship itself, right? We just need like a list of coordinates. So we'll say like coordinate, and then it'll be a list of coordinates like this. Positions. Something like this. Being a dev is much more simple, I guess. Yeah, Stuns, honestly, a lot of the stuff that I've done, I don't like either. I'm not gonna lie. So don't worry about that. You believe a simple state machine would be best for the computer player? Well, that's kind of like what I'm working on here. It's complicated, but it is fundamentally a state machine. Although, oh, you mean like actually having like state. I see. That's also a good idea. Okay, so let's do that. Let's just have this here. This is just like scribblings, right? This is just scribblings. So let's just start implementing stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to... There's a couple things we need to refactor. Let's go to the player, right? And then the computer turn... we'll actually make the turns inside of... Or is it in the game, actually? Ah, I see. So we'll say this dot computer turn. Computer find attack. Yeah, so this is all within the game object. I want to refactor this. Into the computer player, right? So let's do like available cells as, or wait, no, it doesn't need to be const. Available cells is a Boolean list like this. Private. And then in the constructor, we need to initialize this. Or actually, we don't. We can just do this. We say is new array. Let's see. Fill array 2D array with false. Used to do commits. Is that like actually turning orange? Oh, it's so stuns. It's a plugin for VS Code. Yeah, it's VS Code extension. Yeah. Yo, Jay, how's it going? It's good though. We are writing the AI for the computer player. Yeah, it's called Better Comments, Stuns. It's called Better Comments by Aaron Bond. That's the extension. Sorry, should have mentioned. No worries. Okay, so let's see. Because I could just do fill, yeah, okay. Array.fill. Because I don't want to run into issues that we had last time with this. So you know what I might do? I might just do it manually here. Say for let I 0 as coordinate. I is listen. This board size. And we'll say available cells dot push new array this dot board size dot fill false. There we go. Fill. Oh wait, actually, I want these to be true. I lied. Fill available, or actually all cells available to hit as start. Okay, that's good. Then we need to refactor the computer attack code within the computer player class, right? So let's just get that working so that it makes random moves. So we'll say computer find attack. Okay, so computer attack. So we'll say find attack, and then it'll return like 2 coordinates, right? Kind of similar to this. So we'll bring this guy in. So it'll be this dot computer player dot find attack. And then this can go in to the computer, I think. Just like this. And we need to get the player board, right? It's the only tricky part is we need reference to the human game board, which maybe we could pass in as an attribute. How many years of experience do I have in software engineering, Vishnu? Not meant like, so I have a degree in computer science, but I wouldn't call it software engineering. So I did that for 2 years. It took me 2 years to finish that, and then I've been programming now live for just over 2 months. So that's my experience. So I need to pass the board into here. Do this human player dot board player board. So now what I need to do is I need to select from or maybe we don't have available cells as a list of booleans. We could do it as a key value pairs. That might be easier, and it'll also be constant time lookup. So I kind of want to do that instead. So then the key is the key would be the coordinate, and then the value would be a boolean, right? Something like that. Most beautiful region of Canada? I don't know, because I haven't been to all the provinces in my country, but I would say that out west is really beautiful, like Banff, Jasper in western Alberta, the Rocky Mountains, really beautiful. It's definitely not where I live, that's for sure. Okay, so let's do key value pairs here. What is the... Oh, I guess it's just like a... Oh, a map, I see. Okay. Okay, we'll use a map here. So it'll be a coordinate, and then Boolean, right? Equals. Actually, we could just do this. Right? For let j equals 0 minus coordinate. J is less than this stuff or size. And we'll do available cells dot set ij to true. Like this. And then there's got to be a way to remove key value pairs from the map, right? Yeah, dot delete, exactly. Sounds good, Jay. Sorry, it's going to be a kind of a focusy stream today. We actually probably don't even really need a value in here, do we? Doesn't really matter, because we're just going to be removing it from the available list when it's done. Or the map, I mean. It's called Atom 1 Dark. I'll type it in the chat. Like this. I need to make a command for that. Now that you mention it. Okay, so this is fine. So I actually probably don't even need... Do I need a value for this? Yeah, I do. Okay, that's fine. Then so what I'll do is... Then I need to find a random... MyMap.size. Okay, you know how I can do this? Essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to eliminate positions as the... Yeah, no worries, Stones. As the computer makes moves, I need to remove available squares, right? So that the computer knows where it can and can't guess to go. Because this is just purely random, which is not really what I want. And then I can do, let's do a helper method, find random, available, or just get random available chord, get random available attack, position. And then we return coordinates, right? And then we'll do that as a helper method here. So this method will be analogous to our find, like, choose random spot within And we'll worry about the state machine after this. But this will be analogous to this square. Let me find it. It'll be analogous to make completely random move of tiles available. So that's this function. Right? That's kind of what I'm planning on doing for that. Okay. So now we just need to iterate through... I just need to figure out how to get a random... position out of the available map, right? But yeah, no, I'm thinking, now that I'm thinking this through, I think making a state machine is going to make more sense. But I'm just trying to implement the random attacking first. So get random key value pair from map. Oh, I see. Get random key, I see. Okay, so what we can do here is we can say let positions equal array.from this dot available cells dot keys, and then we can say return positions math dot floor. Yeah, I get how this works now. Math dot random times keys or positions dot length. Okay. So now this will get a random available position from the available cells, right? Which is good. So what we can do now is we can just refactor this. Say actually we just do return, or no, let move or attack position equal get random available position, and then we delete that from the keys. This dot available cells dot delete attack position, and then we return attack position. Now we don't need the game board because it's not used, but we will need it. Although we might not, actually, now that I think about it. So now this should function essentially the same as what we had before. It's just refactored, right? So I could also probably have this as a set, now that I think about it. I don't need it as a map, because we're not doing a key value. Add maybe? Right up from set. I think that works. Yeah, because we don't need, I didn't know a set was a thing. Okay. Yeah, because we don't need the values. The values in the key value pairs is not really necessary. Arrayed up from set. Yeah, good. Alright. So now this should basically function the same way. I actually don't need this game board objects. At least right now. I'll modify that if it changes. Okay. So this should now work. So let's make a move. Okay, yeah, now the computer can still select random locations, right? So now I know that this ship is sunk because all of its adjacent positions are taken, right? Like, so this ship is sunk for sure. Right? But see, when the ship went here, or when the computer went there, then I could check, like, then we'll get this state machine working, right? So, yeah. The Battleship does work, but now, yeah, as I say, the computer's just making random moves. But now it's not making completely random moves and guess and checking. It's actually only, it knows its available moves, right? Which is important because now choosing a random move is I'd say it's constant time operation rather than like potentially like very large time complexity, right? So this works. But yeah, no, this is looking good. Anyway, I'll stop playing. All right, so that's good. So now we need to get our state machine working. So let's do that. So let's go back to our diagram, and then from the diagram, we'll make a state machine that makes a little bit more sense, right? So we'll go back over here, and then we'll say computer state machine, computer player state machine. Okay. So we'll have a ship unknown state, which is the default state, right? So we'll get a start ship unknown, and then we'll say ship known or ship, maybe not, instead of unknown, ship not found. We'll say ship found, orientation not found. Right? That's the next state. And then from here we'll say ship found, orientation found. And then from here we can go back to ship not found. I think we could do it from here too. Right. That's kind of going to be our basic state diagram. It's not going to be anything too crazy. And then, of course, this goes until the game's over, right? So the game could end at any of these states, right? Whoops. Yeah. So essentially, this is our state machine. I think that's fine. Or known, I guess I should say. Orientation known. Right? I don't know. So let's go through the logic. Okay, so this is fine. We did that to do. So whether this is a state machine or not, I don't know. I just don't know how to like represent. I mean, we could informally represent it. So we could say private ship known, or ship attacked, or ship attack, or ship hit. Is either a ship, or is either a coordinate, or it's undefined, right? So it's either a list of coordinate pairs or it's undefined. Or actually, no, we can just make it like this. Yes. Go to Discord. Okay, just a second. Kind of doing this on the fly as I say. Okay. Let's see. Finite state machine. Okay, let's see. I'm assuming this is good to put on the stream here. Okay, I'll review this. Sorry, I didn't see Discord. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, so this is kind of like input press on dispatch. Okay, I see. Where do I define the states, though? That's the thing. So I guess we can make another. We can make a state machine for the computer, right? Do I want to embed that in the class, or do I want to have it external from the class? Create machine initial state. Oh, this is like too abstract. This is overcomplicated. I don't think I need it this convoluted here. Like, this is fine, but I think I can work with this. I think this makes more sense, just for our implementation. Because this would be good if you wanted like an extensible system of multiple state machines. But for like one state machine, I think this is fine. But I've never heard of this dispatched. Or if that's just a method inside of here. Maybe it is. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's bring in this state machine, I guess. Should I have it as a, yeah, I guess I could have it as an external. Computer player state machine. Or just call it computer state machine. So we've got maybe I'll just like copy this and then modify it as I need to, because there's 3 states that we need, right? The only thing though is we need to have another if statement within find attack that just that acts based on the state, right? Because depending on what the state is, we make different decisions, right? So let's see, do invoke an action function, dispatch call action. Yeah, but doesn't the thing with action, or not action to call, the thing with dispatch though is it changes the state, right? Where is this dot call coming from? Oh, method function dot call provides a context this for action function refers to newly created flash object. Oh, I see. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I don't know, I'm debating whether to implement this or not, only because I don't know, I feel like it might, I don't know. We'll see. This might be too it just might be too verbose for our purposes. But I don't know, I'll leave it here just in case things get messy, and then I'll refactor to that if it gets messy. So I'll say current ship, maybe. That ship hit. Yeah, it's fine. Private, ship orientation, or ship hit orientation. Ship orientation or undefined. Yeah, first state is random hit, second state is orientation hit, decide orientation, third state is final shout out to the specific direction. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You think it's better? Yeah, okay. I just wasn't sure what to even call the states, right? I think the confusing bit that I have here is like if we're in a state, I don't know how to conditionally go to different states. You know what I mean? I guess I could just have different functions, right? Yeah, so that's what I could do. So I could do this. I could do something like this. So I'll say state is random. It's how it's done realistically. It's a state machine, but you don't have to use that all from examples. It's just an example. Yeah, that's true. So I'll just say state random transitions, and then we'll say random, and then we'll say what was the oh yeah. Say hit ship, and then we'll say this dot state equals so we have random orientation hit. Yeah, we'll say random hit, and we'll say ship or orientation. I don't know. I just don't know what I'm struggling with the names. I think from random to orientation hit. Sure, I'll go with it. I'll go with it. This dot state is having trouble with this. For this. No, we'll do it end game. Just to get out of the state machine. Yeah, it's erroring out here. Not sure why. So this is going to be very similar. So orientation, random hit, I should say. Orientation hit. And if we hit ship again, then we change to a direction hit. Right. I still don't know why this is not working. This dot state. Direction hit. And then end game. End game's actually going to have nothing in it because it's going to be a terminal. We also need miss ships too. Let's say hit miss. End game. Say hit. And so if we miss, then we stay in this state. But the problem is we need to, if we missed multiple times, then we go back to random hit, right? That's the other tricky thing. Okay, bet. I'll check Discord. Leave it to me to overcomplicate this. Oh, I see, okay. Yeah, it's probably a TypeScript thing. Okay, you know what I'll do? You know what I'll do? I'll leave this here, just to be conscientious of time. I'll leave this here, and then I can refactor my code after I get this working. I just want to get this working first. It might be spaghetti, but I just want to get this working. But I see what you sent over, Joseph. It looks good. I just don't really feel like implementing that this second. So I think this is fine. So I think ship length is, you're back, nice stuns. Ship, where is the ship length? Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, that's what I thought. Okay. So we can say if, so I'll just implement it in find attack just to start. You're reading the section on the Odin Project with factory functions. Yeah, that's kind of confusing, eh? I'm just gonna do this with if else conditions right now, and then I'll implement the state machine after if I feel like it. Yeah, I find the factory like prototype thing in JavaScript like really weird. I like class object and class syntax a lot more. Okay, so let's see if yeah, it is confusing. I know. So if ship hit length, this dot ship hit dot length is actually we don't even need this length function or this we don't even need this because we can just get the length from the ship hit, right? Ship hit dot length is greater than 0, so then we know we found a hit. So no, we've hit a ship, right? Otherwise, prototype's like the thing. Yeah, exactly. Like so, prototype is like I can't even explain it off the top of my head. It's like it's different though fundamentally from like having a class that like acts as a template to create instances of objects. The prototype is an object instance itself, I think, but it's special because like I can't even really explain it, but it's different than the like class object way of doing things. It is object oriented, but it behaves differently because the prototype is an actual instance, whereas when you're writing a class, it's just like a recipe to create objects, right? I thought that's what classes were. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, right? The only thing is I need to get back whether it was a hit or not, right? So what I could do here is I'll just do position. This dot ship hit push position. abstraction all the way. Yeah, I honestly I can't even explain the prototype thing. I still don't really understand it either. I'm not gonna lie. At least the underlying implementation, because like I don't really, or at least like I kind of understand it, but I don't understand really how it differs from classes, right? Because I thought classes were like a what you just mentioned, like a blueprint for class construct or for object construction. Oh no, it's not in there. So attack coordinates, we'll say this dot computer player. This dot computer player dot ship was hit, or I'll just say was hit. At attack coordinate. So that's good. So we'll say this. So, now we've hit a ship. Again, I can refactor this into a state machine at some point. It's just a lot to think about. And then we need to check if we know the orientation, right? So we need to say if this dot ship hit orientation is not equal to undefined. We also need to know, the other thing we need to know too, is we need to know which adjacent positions we've checked, right? That's the other tricky part. Is we need to know which adjacent positions we've checked or not. That's the hard part. Well, not hard part, but it's going to cause another property. So I'll say like private ship available adjacent. Or something like this, right? Or ship hit adjacent, maybe. Right? Something like this. I don't know. It's gonna get kind of confusing, but you know, it's all in the fun of doing this. Now I'll take the break. Although I'm thinking, do I have the adjacent cells be a set as well? Maybe. Something like this. Oh, equals. There we go. Let's see. Just one in general. Yeah, see, okay, this is what I thought. The prototypes are actually instances, I think. Yeah, instance-based. Yeah, okay. Each individual clears class-based paradigm. So the class-based is a style of object-oriented programming. All objects are created by a class and without inheritance between them. Yeah, so that's what I thought. The structure and behavior of an object is defined by a class, which is a syntactic structure or a blueprint of all objects of a specific type. Yeah, so that's what I thought for classes, right? But the prototype is like an instance. Prototype is like an instruction book. So if you were to make a class of cat and dog, both of them would have a method walk, so you do not duplicate the code. Oh, I see. I see. So that actually makes sense now that you mentioned it. So it's almost like it can grab from like a common source. So it's almost like kind of like, I don't want to say like a static method in a class, but something akin to that, right? Maybe? I don't know. It's a base class sort of. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm not going to get bogged down with that. I was just doing a little side tangent here. Okay, so if the ship length is greater than 0, then we know we've hit a ship. Actually, we want to check if it's 1. Or greater than or equal to 1, right? That doesn't actually serve any different for purpose than this. So then what we'll do is we'll grab the let previous and we'll actually check if the ship hit adjacent is empty or not, right? I'm going to call this get random global position. And then I'm going to do a private get random adjacent position. Right? Now I'm going to warn everybody here, it's going to be probably hard to follow because I'm not going to be the best at verbalizing my thought process during this because the logic is a little bit weird. And I'm probably doing this all wrong anyway, and I'm probably making a fool out of myself, but you can hear it from it. OOP is pretty complicated to understand. It takes time. Yeah, that's fair, Joseph. I think you're right. It does take time. It gets easier and easier as you practice, right? It's all about practice. Okay, so let's go here. So random adjacent position. So we'll say if this dot available, or where is it? Ship hit adjacent dot size. Whoops. Is greater than 0. Else we get the adjacent, populate with adjacent squares from this dot ship hit. Right? So we'll say this dot ship hit actually, because I need to check whether they're in bounds or not, right? So I need to say let's ship hit x equals this dot ship hit 0 0. I need to make this a list of, I actually have this backwards. I think I need to do it like this. Or maybe that's not right. Tuple type. I do number. No. List of coordinate coordinates. Oh no, that should be fine actually. I lied. I'm good. Just bear with me here. And we'll say if ship hit y is greater than 0, then this dot ship hit adjacent dot add ship hit x ship hit y minus 1. That should work. Type number is not assignable to coordinate. As coordinate. There we go. Let me just duplicate this logic. Ship hit is less than 9. Ship hit y plus 1. Minus 1. Plus 1. Greater than 0 and less than 9. There we go. Nice. And then we get a random one of these, right? wonder if I can do it like this, all in one line. We're gonna have to also check whether that spot's available, right? So this is not gonna be this easy. Although we can probably generalize this and put this outside of this. Oh wait, no we can't. Outside of this, I meant, sorry. So this needs to be refactored as well because we need to check whether or not. So we'll say const. Let's do it like this. And instead of this, I can just do up. Although, what's the problem here? Coordinate. That's kind of convoluted. Instead of checking bounds, we can just check this dot available cells dot has dot. Whoa, that is not what I meant to press. I don't know how I opened the terminal. What the fuck? I don't know how I did that. Down, left, right. I think this is good. Okay. Yeah, this should work. I think. What sound in the background? I got you. Hold on. Although there's probably an easier way of doing this. There definitely is an easier way of doing this. I'm just thinking about whether I even need this if statement or not. I don't think so. Right? Because I'm going to have a secondary method. Yeah, no worries. No worries. I got you. Let's see. So if it's not undefined, else attack position is this dot get random adjacent position. Actually, we only want to do this if it's empty. That's what I wanted to say. Is we want to do if this dot ship hit adjacent dot size is 0. We do this part. So that's good. Let's see. Get random adjacent position. If attack position is undefined, then we just do this. Although I could probably just do this through early returns instead, I think. So now if we know the orientation, then we need to do a directed hit, right? So instead of get random adjacent position, we'll get, we'll do a private get random directed position. And then return a coordinate. And then this would assume, though, that we have a this would assume that we have the orientation. If we have an orientation, our ship length needs to be at least 2, right? So I'll do that. So I'll say if ship dot, or if orientation dot horizontal. Then we'll do max horizontal vertical. Then we need to get a directed horizontal position. Okay. And then the other thing I need to do here is I think this actually is fine. Yeah, I don't know. This is turning into be a little bit more complicated than I thought, but that's okay. And I'm having trouble talking through it because it's kind of something that I have to just internalize. So that I apologize for the less interactive stream, but here, let me just check something. Yeah, I'll check that after stream, Razorblade. So then we need to find the horizontal and vertical available positions to hit, right? So I'm just trying to think about how to do that. So I need to get the minimum and the maximum. So const min x is right up from this ship.json. So I don't know how to get the minimum and maximum from the ship hit. From the ship hit list. We'll just do that. We'll just do it this way. This dot ship hits. For let 0 is less than this dot ship hit dot length. If this dot ship hit I0 is less than xmin, then xmin equals this dot ship hit I0. Then we do the same thing with max. Again, there's probably a better way of doing this, but find min and max x positions to guess from. And then we'll say if xmin is greater than 0 and so we'll always guess to the left first, I guess. That doesn't really matter. Try the left. Just gonna finish this, my thought here. If xmin is greater than 0 and this, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, and I need to check the available cells. This dot available cells dot has xmin has coordinate. Actually, this should just be a coordinate already, you know? Yes, okay, it is. Xmin, and then I'll get the y as well. Since horizontal. So this, say ship hit y. Then we make our guess, right? Else if xmin or xmax is less than 9 and this dot available cells dot has xmax, although has a coordinate. Okay, that's kind of weird. Otherwise, we just return. Actually, we don't even need an else for that. We just do that here. Okay, now this should be very similar for the y, right? Except flipped around, obviously. Again, we got some duplicated code here, but this should be fine. Find min and max y positions to guess from. So we get our x, since vertical, the x is the same. Okay, good. And then y min, and y max. Let me do y min. Okay. That should work. Now the only tricky part is figuring out what the ship hit orientation is, right? That's the tricky part. Which we might do in the wasHit function. Yeah, this is a... Then I could say, if get orientation, if available, if we can. So we can say if this dot ship hit dot length is greater than or equal to 1, or wait, actually, is equal to 1, and this dot ship hit orientation is undefined, then we'll say if position 0 equals this dot ship hit 0 0, then we know the orientation is horizontal. Otherwise, it must be vertical. Or sorry, but then we know the orientation is vertical. Okay, that's that. So then if we know we've hit a ship and the orientation of the ship, what we can do is we can say, we actually don't even need to pass in an orientation. We can say this dot ship hit orientation. Attack position equals this dot get random adjacent position, or no, directed, sorry. And then if, let me do a very similar thing here. This. So if it is undefined, then we continue forward and get a random global position. Ship hit, yeah, empty. This dot ship hit orientation equals undefined. Okay. I think we cooked. I don't know. Code's kind of a mess, and we could probably refactor this into a state machine, but it should work, hopefully. I could make a video or like some other aside, like if anyone's curious about what my thinking was for this, I can go through it after the break, but I'm just gonna take a quick break and go to the washroom and stuff. If anyone's even still watching, I don't know, but so Odin Project only guides assuming everyone installed and is using VS Code. I think you can use it with other IDEs, Dev. I think you can use it with other IDEs. I don't think you need to use VS Code. I think they just recommend that you use Google Chrome as your development browser and either Mac OS or Linux as your operating system. I think those are the only like restrictions as far as I can recall. So, anyway, I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and then we'll do one more segment, and then I'll clear this up. Yeah, thanks, Joseph. All right, I'll BRB. All right, I'm back. There we go. But yeah, I might go for 6 sessions tonight because I kind of want to. I kind of want to finish this project off, honestly. But I think this like theoretically should be working. I mean, there's probably going to be a bug somewhere, but like the bulk of it's finished. Do I trust that it works first go? Not really. You have VS, so when you get an internship, you need VS. So when I saw Odin mention VS Code, you assumed it might be it. Yeah, I mean, you can dev. I would definitely, if your internship needs you to use VS Code, I would definitely use it. It definitely doesn't hurt, right? Okay, so the computer can still make guesses. So now the real question is, I'm actually going to reset this, and I'm going to change the delay. Computer term delay. I'll make it like really slow so I can see what it's actually doing. Okay. Okay, so see, it made a hit. And then it just chose another random position, which is not what we wanted. This dot ship hit dot length. Now we should have added that position, right? This dot ship hit dot push, and then if ship is greater than 0, otherwise if it's not undefined, then we get random adjacent position. Use a debugger to stop execution. Yeah. I don't know how to actually run, like if I have a live deployed thing, Joseph, like how do I actually run, a debugger? Like how do I run like in debug mode, or is there a way to do that? You know what I mean? Cause like, I mean, got the console, and then I can do like sources maybe. I'm gonna make this a little smaller. Oops, not that. Just so I can see. Pause on. So I don't know if this works or not. Go to Discord. Okay, I'll take a look at Discord just a sec. Okay, thanks. Let's see. Visual Studio Marketplace debugger. Oh, run and debug. I see. I'm just trying to get to the breakpoints part. Yeah, so that's how you add a breakpoint. Okay. Wait for breakpoint. The thing that's weird though is how do I actually like have the debugger work in the browser? I think like I would think it works here, right? Like with the breakpoints. DOM breakpoints, global listeners. Because this is debugging just within VS Code, which I mean, well, we can try it. I'll try to put a breakpoint. Like I'll put one here. But I don't know how, does that update the deployed instance, I wonder. We can try it, I guess. Yeah, I guess it didn't update. Debug with live webpack deployed app. DevTools. Oh, maybe I have to like build it and then run the build version. Handy Chrome plugin that will automatically open DevTools every time you inspect a script. Node nightly. Yeah, and I feel a little bit out of my depth in this one. Because I want to ideally debug it with the live, the live local server, right? That's the tricky part. Node lightly can run. Oh, debugger listening. To start debugging, open the following URL in Chrome. Ah. Is this worth a shot? I've never heard of... Create a debug configuration file. Launch.json. Because this is another option, I guess. I feel like this would be better learned in like some sort of discrete exercise, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. Oh, I can set a breakpoint in the J. Okay, that's actually better. That's better. That's better. That's better. Okay. I could actually just set a breakpoint in here. So I need to go to game board now. Player. We need to set one. Let's just set a breakpoint here. I wonder if actually I can... Yeah, I'll just do this full screen. Just for now. Okay, alright. Okay. Attack position is undefined. Okay, so that actually did work. That did work. The other thing I want to do actually before is I can set the... Okay, Okay, let me go. Let me set the delay to be a little more. Let's do like 2 seconds. Okay, paused in debugger. Okay, I don't need that breakpoint anymore. I just wanted to see that whether the breakpoint would work. Okay. Yo, why did my chat like delay like hell? Sorry, I didn't miss any of those. Or I missed all those messages, Joseph. My chat just like super bugged out. I didn't see any of the messages for the last like 6 minutes. I'm doing well though, daily podcasts. You always use VS Code built-in debugging. Nice. Yeah, I need to have a dedicated like learning session with that, I think. Do I have a course of web development? Yeah, I'm doing the Odin Project right now. You can check it out here. Daily podcasts. I think I'll just debug in here. Okay, so let's start this. Computer me. Yeah, I'm using the one in DevTools exactly. I just want to see what happens when the computer makes a hit, right, Joseph? Like, I want to see what the state is when the computer hits a cell. That's kind of what I'm going for. I'm like making a lot of lucky guesses here. Okay. Just make a hit. Oh my god. Right, exactly. That's true. How am I like sniping this guy? Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. So the ship hit length, it was greater than 0, so that worked. Now where do I see the state of the, like, where do I see the variables? Attack position's undefined. Okay. Available cells is good. The ship hit contains 4, 5. Am I still through, babe? Yeah, okay. That's not my course daily podcast. It's just the one that I'm using. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the right spot. So the ship hit added properly here. And then ship hit adjacent hasn't been added, right? So then, can we step through this? There's got to be a way to step. Yeah, so get random adjacent position, which is what we want. Yeah, I got you. Okay, then this ship dot adjacent size should be 0, right? Ship hit adjacent is a 0 size set. So that's good. We get the X, we get the Y is 4, 5, good. And then we get the up, down, left, right. And then we should add it. Although maybe it doesn't add it because it says it's not available. That could be the problem. Daily podcast, please don't spam. I'm going to time you out, actually. No spamming in the chat, please. Okay, so I'm thinking this is this is failing, right? Or does it? Or is it failing? How can I see whether this if check is failing? Is there a way to like watch this? Because I feel like if this passed, then it would execute to this line, right? Although, what's the adjacent? Ships hit adjacent. Yeah, so they're not being added. That's the problem here. Step into? Oh, I see. This is the step into, right? Step over. Oh, sorry. Step into. And then this should just return, yeah. Attack positions undefined. So then it's just choosing a random position. I see. Okay. Okay. Down arrow with dot. Okay, I'm going to redo that. So basically what's happening is these checks are failing right here. If this dot available cells has up, down, left, right, these are failing. These are saying false when they should be saying true. Yeah, I'm still going, Jay. I might actually go late tonight because I just want to finish this stupid thing. Might be a longer stream. But I guess that only benefits you. and me too, but it does benefit you. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so these are failing. So let's figure out why. So let's just Oh, nice. Oh wait, I forgot to add a breakpoint. Oh, I did. Okay. Okay, so we got a hit on the first try. We're doing debugging, Jay. Joseph's being very helpful as well. So, okay, so then we should go to get adjacent position. Good. Okay, we knew all this stuff worked. And then okay, so it was this down arrow, right? Step into next function call. But I don't know where that, if this ship orientation. Because you'd think that it would, yeah. So down is 3.9, okay. And if it's available, it should be available. 3.9. It's in here somewhere. Yeah, so here it is, right? So it is in this set. So I don't know why this check is failing. Because I pressed the step into, but it doesn't actually, like, it just skips over this if statement. So I don't know. Because then it should be adding it to the ship hit adjacent set. I don't know. I wonder if .has is the right. Check if set has a value. TypeScript. Yeah, that's what I thought. .has. Bro. I wonder if it's returning false because it's a different if it's a different because arrays are objects, right? So it's a different object. You see what I'm saying? Because if we store the position as a length 2 array of like 2 coordinates, like an x and a y coordinate, this, like if I go to the code, left here is technically an object, right? And this object might not match the exact object in the available cells. Yeah, well, I thought sets, Joseph, were implemented as hash maps, like in the back end. I don't know. Okay, so we need a better way to check. Check this. Because I bet you that's what it is. I bet you that's the problem. Oh, hash the two values from my array of chords. Oh, I see, I see. Okay. Okay, I have an idea. So what if we do something like... This is going to be weird. Yeah, I think what we can do is we can do x times 10 plus y. Right? I think that's what we can do. We can do like x times 10 plus y or something like that, right? So let's get out of here. Let's bring the code back. So yeah, I'm gonna re-implement how that works, how the sets are working here. Okay, so let's go back to this. Also, I apologize, Jay. To understand this code, you're probably gonna have to go back and watch the VOD after, because I kind of just cooked all this up and like wasn't talking much because I had to like lock in. Okay. So what if we did it like this? So instead of adding it as an array, we can do like as a number, like I times this dot board size plus j or something, right? However, we need to change the available cells to be a new set of numbers, right? You're for the ride? Okay, I appreciate you. Okay, so now we have available cells, and then we have ship hit adjacent as numbers as well. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna have to do here is I'm gonna have to do some refactoring. Just bear with me here. So that's position. Okay, and then I'm gonna have to say this might not be a relevant question, but as a college student, how can you master recursion, especially back-end tracking? We locked in several times and never got this part of programming. I'm honestly probably not the best person to ask for that question, because I haven't done much back-end whatsoever. But I would say, like, generally speaking, like, my general advice would be to just drill, at least this is how I would start, is I would just drill recursion problems. Like, whether it's in, like, leak code or any other kind of theoretical, like, DSA practice site or something. I would just drill problems to try and get your intuition of recursion to be strong. and then kind of go from there. That's how I would do it. But Joseph or Jay might have a better answer. I'm actually gonna make this. Okay, so I need to make a new function, just a helper function. Get coordinates, position as a number, and then we return two coordinates. We return, so we'll do const x is position modulo this dot board size, and then const y is position. Actually, no. It's this. And then where was that random position? Yeah, done. Get coordinates, position. Good. Recursion is confusing as hell, yeah. What is a good way to start from 0? Tala, just literally start from the beginning of the Odin project. That's what I did. Go to this website and start from the very beginning of the Foundations course. That's what I would do. Or you could also go to Free Code Camp too. Jesus, it opens up... Why does it open up AI? I don't want it to. I don't know why it opens up Gemini randomly. There we go. There's another resource you can use. Tala. Okay. This is a mess. This is a mess. So you know what we can do here? We can say... We can recalculate up, left, right, down. So we can say up is... yeah, no worries, no worries. Okay, 5-minute break. I'm going to do one more session, I think. It's going to be a 6-session stream. Again, not actually going to end up finishing this project. I just want to finish the... the computer AI. This turned out to be, again, a lot more convoluted than I thought it would be. But it's okay. Get coordinates. I'm just thinking about... I don't know. I don't know. I'm so like beyond ready. I don't know. I don't know how you guys approach bigger projects, because like this project has been such a headache, and like I don't know how I would manage a larger project, to be completely real. But I guess that's why I'm practicing, right? The more reps I get in, the better I'll get at managing this stuff. But I would imagine, for most things, it's an iterative process of you write the stuff, make it work, refactor, write the stuff, make it work, refactor. I think that's probably how it would be. Always MVP, like minimum viable product. Yeah. I'm just thinking for like real, like actual apps, right? Like this is like just like a toy app that I'm doing for like a, you know, practice, but yeah, exactly, Joseph, exactly. Yeah, software design is a whole nother beast, but again, you can't really learn it unless you do it. Like, again, we had this course in university about software design principles, but we didn't actually practice with writing any code, so it was literally just memorizing shit the entire time, and I've like completely forgotten everything from that course. Yeah, that's how I would figure. Like, for example, the code that I'm writing right now, if I wanted to, I'm probably not going to, mind you. I could come back to it tomorrow and refactor it and like make it better, but I don't know. I'm so like, maybe I could do it as like something I revisit later. But I think after I get this just to work, I'm gonna move on, and then maybe I'll come back to it and make it better. Yeah, practice is everything. Well, that's what I'm here to do. I guess I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah, each company structures their products differently. Yeah. So it's like you have to learn their like conventions and shit, right? It's similar in IT in the sense that there's like different ways of accomplishing different IT tasks that each company has, but it's a lot simpler. Like IT is like so much easier. Like at least brain power wise, like I don't know. Like even like configuring stuff in Azure, it's literally just button pressing. Like I'm not actually doing any like I don't have to think very hard. I just have to like press buttons and like follow documentation to a T. Like I don't actually have to like think about implementations or anything like that. I don't know. Like I had to configure Skim for this HR application. Skim is like it's like an identity management framework or protocol that essentially takes employee IDs from Microsoft Entra and creates accounts based on those Entra credentials in another third-party app. So I had to do that, but it was like stupid easy because it's all done. You just have to like click buttons and like do the configuration. The best thing about programming is the program does exactly what you told it to. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Joseph. Well, I'm glad you guys like to watch me be an absolute like screw up on live because I feel like I'm such an idiot. I don't know. I know I'm not, but it feels like I'm like just like completely winging it, which I am completely winging it, but I'm not like, you know, I don't know, it's just self-conscious, I guess. But it's all right. So I'll do up 0 times this dot board state size plus up 1. So I need to do this for each position. I could add a function to do this. I probably should, but I'm just gonna leave it. You should have seen me with your first project. Yeah, that's fair. This is like the biggest project I've done by far. So, I mean, it's got to count for something. Took me years to get to my level, really. I wouldn't say I'd say I'm still very beginner though. But again, I do have the degree, which helps. I won't say the degree doesn't help because it definitely helps, but especially with like raw, like brute force problem solving. But when it comes to like, yeah, like things like software design, you know, I don't have that necessarily. I'm not a beginner, really? Cause I think I'm a beginner. It's all relative, right? In fairness, it's all relative. Get coordinates, get random. Oh, and then I'm gonna need to convert this as well. Xmin -1 as coordinate, so I'm gonna have to do xmin -1 times this dot board size plus ship hit y. May not be the next SaaS product, but it works. Yeah, fair. Yeah, that's fair, Jay. I don't know. As you've come to know, I'm pretty self-deprecating, I guess. But it's just you know, it's just the way I am. I've always been this way. But again, I'm practicing. I'm here learning, so I'm glad you guys like to watch it either way. Y min -1. And then this should be good. Okay, this should be almost entirely refactored now. There's one other error somewhere else. Oh, here. Attack position, get random global position. Attack position 0 plus. I need to really write a helper function for this. I just need to figure out like what I would call it. Happy to be here. Well, I appreciate you. I just feel like this stream more than others is just like, you know, confusing and BS. But that's part of the process, right? So, okay, so this should. Okay, so essentially what I ended up doing here was I refactored the available cells. Because we have a set of available cells to choose from. When the computer is choosing which move it's going to make, it knows which cells it hasn't hit yet, right? And so I'm storing those as a number instead of an array, so it's not an object. So I spent some time refactoring that. Again, I should have made a helper function to do this, but I just just did it haphazard. Good practice. We look at my code off stream, write notes, and then do those on next stream. Yeah, I think I'm going to start doing that, Joseph. It's just a matter of the timing, right? Because I work all day, and then I have to get home. I have to make supper, eat supper, walk the dog. You know, there's a bunch of shit. It's just, I got to figure out. I got to maybe start waking up earlier or something. I don't know. But I did get Obsidian. I am happy to report I did get Obsidian, and I'm going to play with it a bit after stream. So... look forward to some Obsidian config maybe tomorrow on tomorrow's stream. So I'm gonna play with that. Yeah, life does get in the way, exactly. Okay, so I think I'm actually ready to start debugging here. I think I'm ready to start debugging. So let's add a breakpoint. Where was I gonna add that? Oh yeah, it's already there. Okay, fine, that's good. Let's just play this until the computer makes a hit. Okay, made a hit. Cool. You've seen Obsidian but never committed? Yeah, I dabbled with it in my degree, Jay, but I never actually like used it properly. I just kind of used it like a couple times and was like, oh, this is kind of a cool thing, but I never actually like used it to any of its potential. Okay, so attack position is this dot get random adjacent position. Okay, then we knew all this stuff worked. Up, down, left, right. Okay, then this. I'm curious to see how I set it up. I haven't set it up yet, but I'm gonna do it probably tomorrow. But I did install it, so it's installed. This check should pass, right? This check should pass because the up position is available. So this is the moment of truth. Yes, it passed. Okay, so now we add it. Down's available, left is available, and right's available. And then we select a random adjacent position, and then we delete that position. Where's the random adjacent position? It's 47. And then we return, and then we get the coordinates, and then the coordinates are 4 and 7. Nice. So 4 and 7 is the upper one, right? So it shows up. So now the computer should go on its next turn. It should go here at this position because this is 4 on the X and 7 on the Y because it's 0 indexed, right? So attack position is defined, right? So that shouldn't happen. Oh yeah, no, sorry, it's not undefined. So return it. And then was hit, turn opponent, get board, okay. Player board is hit. This is fine. Update player ships. Okay, I can like go through this really fast. Oh, you know what? Let's just like, let me just play it from here. Yes, so it went here, right? That's what I wanted. So now it should choose another adjacent position, right? Okay. So the ship orientation, so is not equal to undefined. Let's see, or it is still undefined, I think. Yeah, it is cool, Joseph. It's better. It's a hell of a lot better than console logging. Okay, so we get a random adjacent position. This check should fail because the size is greater than 0. Then we get another random adjacent position. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then we chose... Okay, then the computer chose to the left. And that was a miss as well. Okay. And then it's going to choose another adjacent position. So it chose 49. So it chose down, right? So I actually want to see what happens here. Okay, so now the orientation should actually be defined. Right, so now it's going to try and get a random directed position because we know that our orientation should be vertical. Yeah, see, ship hit orientation is 1. And if you remember, the ship hit orientation, vertical is 1. Let me go back here. Whoa, holy fuck. If we go to the types, vertical is 1. Ship hit orientation is 1. So our code figured out that the ship, based on where it was moved, where it was hit, is vertical, which is true. So that's pretty fucking cool, if you ask me. Okay. So now it's going to try and obviously get a random directed position, but it should fail because it's already guessed to the top, and it can't guess any lower because it would go off the board. So then it should fail, right? Yeah, it's pretty neat, eh? That was the part where like I went silent for half an hour and I just locked the fucking and like wrote this code. Okay, so then we get the Y-min and the Y-max. Okay, then we get the minimum values. Okay, good. Yeah, so the Y minimum is... Why is the Y min 9, actually? What the fuck? That might actually be wrong. If this dot ship is less than Y min is... Why is the Y minimum 9? It shouldn't be 9. And the Y max being 8. These should be flipped. These should be flipped. Okay, so I have to look at that logic. Now it might try to, yeah. I think it's going to try and make a move at an invalid position. Maybe. Okay, let's just play it. Yeah, so I think the computer gets stuck. Yeah, it's going to get stuck. Maybe because it's out of bounds in the play game. Yeah. That could be. That could be. All right, let's go back into the code. Okay, so that we know it like mostly works. It's just that case that's not working. Let's go back into the code here and figure that out. No, it wouldn't be in the player. Yeah, it would be. If this shit hip is less than Y minimum, then Y min is that. So Y min shouldn't get set. Ship hit. I. Oh, because this. Oh, no. Sorry. I1. We were checking against the X. No, it was because, okay, so this is confusing. So let me go back to this. So, the ship hit, is a list of coordinates, right? And the coordinates are X and Y. So what I was doing is I was checking I was checking against the X coordinate, not the Y coordinate. The Y coordinate is the one value, so the second value in that coordinate pair, right? That's what was that's the problem. That was the issue. Right? So that actually should be fine now. That should actually work. Yeah, let's test it. Okay. But I don't need to fix this one because that's fine. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm going to get a board where I have a ship with a very similar position. So this ship here is analogous to the one that we had before, right? And I'm also going to add a breakpoint, I think, at a different spot. I'll add the breakpoint just because we know it works up to a certain point. We'll add the breakpoint in the get random directed position. That's what I'll do. Okay, perfect. That couldn't have been better, actually, for it to select this one. That was lucky. That was really lucky. Okay, so it stopped. So that's what we wanted. Okay. So ship hit X. Okay, for let I. So now Y min should be 8 and Y max should be 9, right? Okay, that's what we want. Because the Y min is 8 and the Y max is 9, right? That's good. So then this should fail and this should fail and it should return nothing. Okay, wait, never mind. Y. Oh, fuck. 8, 7. Oh, no, because it didn't test up here yet. That's why. It didn't test up here. It didn't go up here yet. That's the problem. So that's okay. Because it for all it knew that there was a ship up here. There was a ship piece up here. So that's why. Okay, so now it should return nothing. Now it should return nothing. And then it should make another random position. It should choose another random location after this, I think. Okay, so we go through. Oh, and it still returns. Why? Ship hit X, Y min -1. Ship hit X is 8. Is 8. But this dot available cells dot has should fail. This should fail. But it didn't fail. Yeah, so it's gonna try and hit the same position here. Yeah, it's gonna keep trying to. There's one more area it didn't hit. Well, it didn't need to hit this area because it figured out that it was vertical. That's why. It figured out that it was vertical. So it knows the ship's vertical, but it's not. This test is passing right here. This test should not be passing. Because this dot available cells dot has. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I know why, maybe. Because we're not removing it from... we're not removing the attack position from the... That's why. It didn't know the ship was... It didn't know that the position was off limits, Joseph. Because we weren't removing it. In here, we should be removing attack position from this dot available cells. But we didn't do that here. That's why. We need to, on line 228 right here, we need to remove it. We need to remove it like we did here. That's the problem. That's the problem. Right? So let me go back into the code. Alright, so then this should work. Then this should work. So we need to actually remove it. It didn't know that it was off the board. That's why. Let me go... Where is it here? Right here. I need to delete it from the available cells, right? That's the problem. And then return it. There. Because it wasn't getting deleted. Okay, nice. Sick. Okay, so this is a similar situation. So we have our ship here. Now let's test it again. Okay, this is fun. So let's put the breakpoint. Wait, where did I... Should put the... Get rid of that one. Okay, I'll have the breakpoint in the same spot. That's fine. Okay. I should set up, if I was making this as like a real project, I wouldn't just have this random. Like I would have like test board configurations and shit. Or just have like a test suite that actually works. But I am too lazy to do that. Please hit here. That'd be great if you did that. Okay. So now it's going to guess. So let's see what it does here. So this case is similar. It's just not out of bounds. So it's probably going to guess. It's either going to guess this or this, right? It's either going to guess this quick. So it knows it's vertical, because if you go to the computer player, it knows that the ship orientation is vertical, right? So, okay, so then we get our X min and X, or sorry, our Y min and our Y max, which should be 4 and 5, I think, right? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so it's going to guess... It's going to always select the top. Okay, so then we delete it, return attack position, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it guessed that. Okay, that's good. Okay, because then it was a hit, so it's still the computer's turn. So now it's going to either guess this position or this position, and both are going to be misses, right? So it's going to be 3 and 6, or 3 and 5 are going to be the min and max. Yep. So then this check should pass as well, which is fine. And it missed. Okay. Okay, so it missed. So now it's going to guess this lower one, right? It has to. Yes, it skipped it. So now it's going to here. Else if y is less than... Okay, so then this will return. This will return. Okay, good. And then delete it. And then... Okay, so then it should go here. Yep, good. And then now it's going to try again. And it's going to notice that it's guessed the ship. So it's going to... it's noticed that it's checked the adjacent position. So it knows that the ship is been sunk, right? So what's going to happen is both of these checks down here are going to fail, and then it's just going to return undefined, right? Beautiful. And then we reset ship hit because we know the attack position was undefined. Clear the adjacents, and then find a random spot. And it chooses another random spot. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think we made it smart. Yep, I think that's it. Alright, so let's finish out this game. Let's finish out this game. Yes, I know. It feels nice, I'm not gonna lie. I think did it get stuck? Or did I just not see it move? Oh no, it didn't. Okay, good. Guess there. Now it should guess here. Yep. 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 That's good. It's doing what a human would do. Okay. That's fantastic. Okay. Okay. I don't know how I did that, but I did. I think it might beat me, actually. I guess we'll find out. Oh, yeah, I made a hit as well. And then it found the random point. Exactly, Jay. Yeah, beginner. I know. Still kind of beginner. Let's be real. It's fucking Battleship. Okay, so it sunk that one, then it did an adjacent one. And then it's probably going to go here. Yep. And then it did another random position. I don't know. It is a working application, indeed. Well, that was lucky. I need to make, I think, okay, now next stream I'll be making the UI better. Okay, let's see. Can my own bot beat me? We'll find out. Okay, so it went there, so it's gonna go try and go up here after, right? Yep, and then that failed, so then it should just choose another random position. Yep, and then it did. Yeah, I can host it. It can beat me? It probably will, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so guys, tomorrow, when after I'm done polishing the UI, I'll put it on pages. Let's see. This is actually kind of like sort of close battle here. So now it's gonna guess here. It's gonna guess here. Good, and then it's gonna guess here. Yes! Good, okay. Is it? No, it hasn't beaten me yet. Oh, that's weird. It should have... That was weird. It didn't guess... There. It should have... That's a... I don't know why. I don't know what the hell happened with that. I'm wondering if it wrapped around. I wonder if it... Because I think it guessed here. It thought that... I wonder if it did a... I wonder if it wrapped. That would be weird. It might have been. I think it's the bounds. But it remembered that this was where its ship was. Okay, whatever. Minor bug. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah, I think it's the bounds. For sure. I agree. Okay, so we have a length 3 to get, which should be here. Okay, that's fine. And then we have like 3 1s to get. Okay, so we know it can't be any of these. Can't be this one. Can't be this one. Can't be this one. Can't be this one. This one. This one. Or it could be this one. Okay, good. Could be that. No. Could be that one. Yeah, I think it's a bounds problem, but that's fine. It didn't actually break the selection or anything, which is good. Okay, so I think I have one more ship to sink. Because there's 4 length 1s. So I think it can't be... It can be either this or this, or this, or this. It's one of these ones, though. J3? Let's try. Nope, it has to be J4. Yeah. Yay, I win. Because there's 3 length 2 ships, 2 length 3 ships, 1 length 4 ship, and then so I barely beat the bot. Barely. Very barely beat the bot. But still. That's not bad. I mean, that's better than random moves, right? So, again, the bounds issue is not that's a minor thing. I'm not concerned about it. But it didn't make a guess that caused an error, right? Like it didn't make a guess that threw an error. So I'm happy with that. I'm very happy. Still need to fire off the fireworks? Yeah. I can add that effect tomorrow if you want. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for today. That's why I didn't want to do the state machine, Joseph, because I was worried. Now that I can kind of coherently state my thoughts, I didn't want to do the state machine because I thought that oops, I bumped my microphone. Sorry, that might have been loud. I thought that it was just going to overcomplicate implementation, at least in the short term. No error is worse, but it still selected a spot though. It still selected a valid location. But I do a bounds check. It'd be a very bad error. Yeah. I mean, but I do a bounds check like when I'm selecting an adjacent position, or maybe I don't actually check. Oh, you know why? Because I actually don't do the bounds check here. Because of the refactor. Yeah, it does. Okay, so what I actually have to do is I have to, before adding the adjacent, I have to also say and up 1 is greater than 0. Because up 1 is the y coordinate, right? And then I have to do and down. This is y, I'm pretty sure. Is less than or equal to 9. And left 0 is greater than or equal to 0. And right 0 is less than or equal to 9. I think it was because of this. I wasn't doing an explicit bounds check. This is a mess for tomorrow's stream. Yeah, exactly. I know. I need to make helper functions. I know. For that specific thing. Okay, I'll refactor that. Okay, so you know what I'll do? I'll add it as a to-do. Make another helper function for converting coordinates to cell position in available cell, or just cell position or whatever, as single number, or I'll just say x times 10 plus y. Okay, so I'll do that tomorrow. But that should have fixed the bounds issue. And then obviously we need to do the styling and stuff. But that's the fun part. Anyway, I think that'll do it for tonight. It's been a long stream, but it was a lot of fun. Even though I thought I was, making a fool out of myself for like 90% of it, but that's okay. You guys were here and you stuck around. So I'll be live again tomorrow evening, same time. And, if you're watching or lurking and you want to follow along on my journey, I'd really appreciate a subscription. That'd be great. Join the Discord, link in my bio. I'm not going to plug it super hard because some people don't like Discord, so I'm just going to leave. If you want to join the Discord, the link's in my bio. Yeah, that's it for tonight. I'll see you all tomorrow. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening / morning / afternoon.